Finally, it's break time. I've been so busy all morning working on reports, it feels like they'll never end. Thank goodness for coffee.
Same here, yuck. I even forgot to have breakfast because I was in such a rush. But oh well, coffee is enough. I don't know, it feels like life's incomplete without coffee every day.
Ha 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 ha, right. Sometimes I think coffee is like our lifesaver in the work world. Imagine if there were no coffee today, I might have called in sick.
Laughing, exactly. Coffee's like fuel for us all. By the way, how old were you when you first tried coffee?
I think I was in middle school. My mom made me coffee with milk. But I didn't start drinking it regularly until college. What about you?
Me? Probably high school. I started drinking coffee to stay awake with all the schoolwork piling up. At first, I just tried it out, and now, I can't stop.
Wow, same here. I started in high school too. But now I'm thinking about something funny. This morning I read an article saying coffee can have negative effects if kids drink it. And I started wondering, what if there were an age limit for drinking coffee, like with alcohol or cigarettes? Do you think that makes sense?
Laughs, an age limit for coffee? Seriously, yuck? That sounds a bit over the top.
Ha 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 ha, but wait, if you think about it, there's some logic to it. Coffee does have a pretty strong effect if consumed in excess. So, do you think it's a good idea, yuck?
Yeah, let's talk about it. I read on Healthline that caffeine doesn't just keep people awake, but it can also cause stress, especially for kids. So, what if we had some rules around it?
Well, seriously? That's pretty scary. Why do kids drink coffee to stay up? They need sleep for their bodies to grow.
Yeah, and if coffee becomes a habit, it can create more problems instead of solving them. No wonder some kids end up in the hospital.
Exactly. And that's the big question. We often see young kids drinking coffee just because they want to stay up playing games or studying. They don't realize that this habit can have long-term effects, from sleep problems to anxiety and even kidney issues. That's why I'm thinking, maybe there should be a minimum age for coffee.
But let's look at it from another angle. Do these kids actually drink coffee to focus, or are they just following adult trends? I mean, nowadays everything has to be aesthetic, even coffee.
You're right. Sometimes I see kids at coffee shops, ordering expensive drinks just to take photos. They don't even drink the coffee. So, for them, coffee is more about lifestyle, not a need. But let's think about this. Even if kids are just following trends, it still has an impact. Harvard Health says caffeine doesn't just stress them out, it can also affect brain development. We are not just talking about aesthetic drinks here, it's about health.
But, yuck, the effects aren't immediate, right? I mean, it's different from alcohol or cigarettes that have short-term risks. Coffee is more of a habit.
I get what you're saying. But if we make a rule like a minimum age, will that actually work? Kids can still ask their parents to buy coffee for them, or they'll just sneak around.
Well, at least with a rule, we've set a clear standard. Kind of like with cigarettes, right? Parents can still buy it for their kids, but it becomes their responsibility. At least a rule would make people more aware.
I still don't agree, yuck. Coffee is different from cigarettes or alcohol. In some countries, coffee is part of family culture. In Italy or Brazil, kids are introduced to coffee at 6, and they turn out fine.
But in those countries, their coffee is lighter, sir. They usually drink small espressos without sugar or cream, which makes it less harmful. Here, Kids mostly drink sugary coffee drinks like frappuccinos, which are way less healthy.
But still, a rule won't solve the problem. What's more important is education. Parents need to know when their kids should drink coffee and how much. If everything is regulated, when will they learn responsibility?
I agree. I also think that if coffee is too forbidden, kids will just get more curious. Remember when we were kids? If something was off limits, we'd find a way to do it anyway? Same thing.
So here's the deal, I think the best solution isn't to make formal rules, but through education. Parents and schools need to understand the impact coffee can have on kids. If they know the effects, they can set limits without needing official rules.
That makes sense. But what if parents don't care? I mean, there are some who think it's totally normal for their kids to drink coffee.
That's why education has to be for both kids and parents. We need to teach them that coffee isn't just about taste, but also has health effects.
I agree. And we should also normalize moderation. I mean, coffee isn't bad as long as it's not overdone. If kids are taught boundaries from a young age, they'll be more responsible.
So, in conclusion, we all agree that a minimum age rule isn't necessary, but education is really important.
Yeah. I think if we focus more on educating both kids and parents, the effects of coffee can be better managed without the need for formal bans.
Agreed. So maybe from now on, we can also set an example. If we drink coffee responsibly, kids will follow our lead.
Exactly. So, let's start by educating ourselves first, and if we see a kid drinking coffee, maybe we can gently explain it to them. Who knows, our little conversation might be the first step towards some small change.
Alright, sounds good. Oh, by the way, my coffee's finished. Anyone up for a refill?
I'm in. But I'll get the aesthetic one, okay?